I thought, great, I can live with handmade artifacts because I'm putting myself into a pre-industrial situation. And that was another of the points of this. I wanted to be using things that people had made, not machines. That door, though picturesque and ancient, it's got graffiti on it from 1803, so we know it's old. I didn't want to disturb that door, but I didn't want to suffer its drafts either. So we made a little lobby. That door opens in like that, and we made a door just here into my room that opens that way. So you go in there, and then you would see in front of you a wall dresser. To the left, my cooking arrangements, which we'll see on the slide. Over there, my little table, and then behind the lobby, built over what was an old workbench, is my box bed. Now, you're going to see all of these things on slides, but I just wanted to give you a ground plan so that you've got a better image of how it all worked. My experiment isn't just about the past. I think that there's a lot of acknowledgement of that out there, and that's gratifying because I do think we've got to take our current plight seriously. I think the world is changing pace, and we haven't really seen what's going to happen yet, but it's not going to be good.
This is definitely a little bit more active and animated, definitely with the banniks and the soup and all the rest of it. Well, it's actually doing really well. I had my own secret stash of event stock put aside, and my colleague who runs the Scottish section actually had to keep coming and stealing the books to sell because it was so popular. So it's been doing really well, really, really well, especially for a first-time book. But it's a beautiful put-together book, published, the images, it really does look great.
So it was a book published by the Science Museum, which they don't have anymore, and that gave me the basics for the making of fire by flint and steel, using a tinderbox.
And what you've got inside it.
John Lord, who is a flint knapper in Norfolk, he was on Grimes Graves, running the visitors' centre at Grimes Graves, and of course, which is where antique folk, Neolithic folk, were getting a lot of flint. And so he showed me how to use flint, and I showed him how to make fire, because I then had the stuff to do it with. And it sort of developed.
It. So it's quite vigorous, and the chips fly around a bit.
No, it was as satisfying for me to see her do it as it was for her to do it.
What Fiona Houston's book does is dip back into a previous age before society started exploiting those finite resources in the way that we've been doing since then. The one thing that we've got going for us, I think, is as smart apes, so smart that we managed to shunt the world's energy systems into reverse and cause the damage of that. We are clever creatures, and we will be able to fuse the best of what went before. Some of what we've forgotten can be rediscovered, but fuse that with the best of what we have now.
One of the whole basic tenets of the transition movement is that the right people come forward at the right moment, and you don't try and run jobs. You find everybody who's interested and harness their energy, so we can pool imagination and creativity to get out of the plight we've got ourselves into by other bits of imagination and creativity. Yeah, coupled with greed.